Hey guys, let's get more news about Lakers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Lakers star LeBron James hints at retirement after $101 million deal. LeBron James has revealed that his latest contract with the Los Angeles Lakers could be his last. The four-time MVP hinted at the possibility of retirement, suggesting that this new deal might mark the final chapter of his illustrious career. James signed a 2-year contract with the Lakers worth $101.4 million on July 3, with the second year being a player option. If he plays out the length of his deal, James will have played 23 seasons in the NBA, the most of all time. With his immediate future locked in, James spoke to Dave McMenamin of ESPN on various topics, including his time left in the NBA. "I mean, it could be the last contract I will ever sign," James said. "I'd never sit up here and say, oh, maybe not. Yeah, it could be. Easily. But we'll see what happens." It's non-committal from James, and only he truly knows the answer to how much he has left in the tank. He's shown little sign of slowing down, adapting his game to his older age and continuing to be a significant contributor. James, 39, played 35.3 minutes per game last season, averaging 25.7 points, 8.3 assists and 7.3 rebounds. James earned his 20th All-Star appearance and was named third-team All-NBA. James' longevity has allowed him to accomplish his long-established goal of playing with his son, Bronny. The Lakers selected Bronny with the number 55 overall pick in this year's draft, making them the first active father-son duo in NBA history. Since the selection, Bronny has been the target of some criticism. But LeBron said his son can avoid the noise and focus on what matters. "I don't know if people really understand Bronny," James said. "He doesn't care. I actually care a little bit. When I came in, as a rookie, I wanted people to like me, and some of the things that people were saying about me kind of bothered me early on in my career. He doesn't give a expletive. He does not care about nobody, doesn't even listen to that stuff. He's like the coolest. He's like the complete opposite of his dad. His dad will say something to address the critics. Bro does not care. Everything that's being said about him, he really does not care." Bronny made his summer league debut on July 6, scoring 4 points in 22 minutes. He sat out the Lakers' second game with knee soreness. The Lakers were unable to make a splash in free agency. James had volunteered to take a pay cut to lure an impact player, but it didn't work out. Among the names on the Lakers' radar were Klay Thompson, DeMar DeRozan and Jonas Valanciunas. The Lakers could still consider making a trade, but James said he was okay with how things unfolded. "It takes two to tango," James said. "I think our front office, our coaching staff, they tried to do the job that they wanted to do or tried to get guys to come, and it didn't happen. And that's okay. That's part of the business. I've been in this business long enough to know that sometimes it happens, sometimes it don't. So, we don't sit here and lie about or cry about it. We move on. And Klay's a great player. Obviously, DeMar's a great player. Valanciunas was one of those guys who ended up going to Washington, was someone that was in talks with us, but we move on to see how we continue to get better." James is currently in camp with Team USA alongside his Lakers co-star Anthony Davis. Could Brandon Ingram be an option for the Lakers? The days and hours leading up to free agency really seemed to set the Lakers up for something big. D'Angelo Russell opting into his contract opened up lots of trade options, and LeBron James' willingness to take a pay cut opened up lots of free agency options. And yet, here the Lakers sit on July 8 without any changes to the roster. The team's free agency targets turned them down and the trade options haven't materialized, whether due to the new CBA or the lack of interest in Russell and the other Lakers on the trade market. The Lakers are operating as a team without a sense of urgency, which makes sense in some ways. They just hired a first-time head coach and have spoken about player development. But so long as you have LeBron James on the roster, you're competing for a title. So, where do the Lakers turn from here? While LeBron ended the free agency flexibility, something the market also ended as well, there are still trade options available. And one very interesting name could be old friend Brandon Ingram. The Pelicans are at a crossroads with Ingram. He's entering the final year of his deal and is seeking a 4-year max at $208 million. But with New Orleans unwilling to make that commitment, the belief coming into the offseason was the two sides would be parting ways via trade. But, like the Lakers, New Orleans has not had a successful offseason navigating that path. On Monday, Will Guillory of The Athletic wrote a piece about the Pelicans' lack of options to make a trade with Ingram. While he specifically mentions the Bucks and Clippers as teams to get involved, could the Lakers join them? One of the key points of the article is that the Pelicans are looking for a big man to pair with Zion Williamson. Right off the bat, that throws a hurdle in the possibility of a Lakers deal. They do not have a legitimate center. Jackson Hayes and Christian Wood are not that, on the roster, to trade to the Pelicans. It doesn't rule them out completely, though. New Orleans would also likely have little interest in D'Angelo Russell either, given their roster construction. Rerouting him to a third team for a center could be a possibility. New Orleans is also likely feeling the pressure. The longer they wait on an Ingram deal, the lower the price gets. Can they afford to go into the season with Ingram in the final year of his deal? The specifics of the trade could be ironed out, but financially, it's possible. The Lakers have the draft picks needed, whether to trade or swap, and are familiar with working out big deals with the Pelicans front office. This part of the deal would be difficult, as any trade would be. The Lakers would either need to involve a third team to find a center or hope the Pelicans start feeling a little more desperate. This is not to gloss over that, but there are on-court reasons Ingram could make sense, which would be an important factor. J.J. Redick wants to use LeBron James off the ball more, and much of the focus has been on acquiring a point guard to replace D'Angelo Russell in that respect. Ingram, however, offers ball handling from the wing position that could be a solution. He's not quite the player he was the last time the Lakers had him. Lakers' DeMar DeRozan pursuit gets clarity after free agency miss. Rob Pelinka and the J.J. Redick-led Los Angeles Lakers needed more firepower heading into the 2024-25 season. There was no better way to get that type of talent than to acquire it in NBA free agency. DeMar DeRozan was a top pick that was rumored to team up with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. The deal fell apart. What truly happened, and why did the master of the mid-range land with the Sacramento Kings instead? It sounds like Pelinka and the rest of the Lakers front office did not push to get DeMar DeRozan in NBA free agency. Shams Charania outlined that there were only two big-name organizations that were fighting it out. The LeBron James-led squad was not one of them, via the rally. It was really down to the Kings and Miami Heat as far as DeMar DeRozan's next home. He really wanted to land in a competitive environment. Also, I'm told that he wanted to go back west at the end of the day. The Kings? They pushed the hardest, the fastest throughout free agency to get a deal done. They are a playoff contender, a team that's trying to get to the cusp of being a title contender. The Kings owner really clinched this over their in-person meeting over the weekend in Sacramento, the renowned NBA insider said. So, what did the Lakers do to try and land one of the best available players in NBA free agency? It seems like all Rob Pelinka and the rest of the front office sat idly by and did not actually try to sign him. The Lakers never went beyond expressing just simple interest in DeRozan. There were no offers or tangible conversations, Charania added. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of DeMar DeRozan? Leave your opinion in the comments.